bird on a tree.
Hello there, my name is Dan and welcome to my garden here in Essex in the southeast of the UK. So I've had a relatively cool spring by UK standards, but hopefully the weather is improving now. So it's currently about 16 degrees C, which is around 61 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's about 6:15 at night. So a nice warm temperature. So I uploaded a video the other day showing you how the allotment was doing, so you can check that one out if indeed you're interested. And today we're going to have a look around the garden here. I'm going to show you a few plants, many of which I sowed relatively early, and you can see how they are indeed doing. Here I have some peas. So I planted these peas probably around early February time, and many of them I originally germinated inside on a warm windowsill and then moved them out. Some may have been later sowings, but I planted them out here I believe on the 8th of April, so they're looking very good. You can see they're going to be growing up here. I put a bit of chicken wire here which you may not be able to see at the moment, so I'll do a different camera angle on that one, but they're doing very well. I've got two varieties here. I have Oscar, which is an early pea, these are here, and I also have Champion of England, which is a tall climbing pea. So the Oscar is also a dwarf pea, so if you're in an exposed location and you want a nice early pea, Oscar could be a good one for you. And if you'd like to grow a larger pea, Champion of England could be a good one. It can get about 6 to 8 feet high, so it's a good height there, and I'm expecting some great things from these peas. I've got lots of flowers on them and I'm expecting a large crop. Champion of England tall climbing peas. They really are beautiful plants, lovely leaves, and you can see there are some flowers starting to come now. And look at them leaves, they just look really lovely, don't they? Really excited about these. One can see just how many flowers are on the Oscar early peas. So pea flowers are self-fertile, but bees still love to come and go into the flowers, so that's nice. And you could just see how beautiful these flowers do look. So these Oscars are looking very promising so far. Hopefully you can see from there I've got this cherry tree well covered. So this is a netting here that one would cover brassicas with, something like that. It's the same as what I'm using down the allotment to protect from birds and what will later be cabbage white butterflies. And you can see I've covered the whole tree here. You really want to cover your cherry trees because birds truly do love to eat cherries, whether they are ripe or not. So you can see this is covered all over. Hopefully no birds will be getting in there to eat these cherries. The lettuce you see in front of me here is variety Little Gem Cos lettuce, which I initially planted on the 18th of February in cell trays of multi-purpose compost in the polytunnel. I then planted them out on the 8th of April. So they're a nice compact lettuce, so you can grow them in small gardens. You can grow them close together, so they are good for small spaces. Nice tasting lettuce. I like to have them in sandwiches. So they're about 10 weeks here from initially planting to what you see here. So a nice quick fast maturing lettuce. They're fully cold hardy and they are very much worthwhile to grow. Lettuce is one of my favourite edibles to grow, with numerous health benefits which you may like to look up. Down here I have a variety of vegetables growing in a no-dig bed, and also some salads here, some lettuce. So I made this no-dig bed in March and it's composed mainly of compost I had in buckets. So some older compost, there'll also be some garden soil here as well. So here I have some beetroot. I've got two varieties, Bolt Hardy, which is the variety that's generally recommended for early sowing, and also Cylindra. So I planted these in January. I'll link the video down below, and you see they're looking very good. So the Cylindra really is more advanced in general than the Bolt Hardy, and some good size roots there. So I put my finger there, look, you can just see the size of that Cylindra beetroot root. White albino beetroot, straight sown on the 24th of March. James Scarlet intermediate carrots, also straight sown on the 24th of March. I made some early sowings of spring onions and you can see they're looking good. I believe I planted these in January or February in module trays and planted out here once again on the 24th of March. Here I have 3 varieties of indeterminate vining tomatoes. So they're growing in 25-litre containers, which is about 5.5 imperial gallons, or about 6.6 US gallons. So in containers of compost. So I've got Gardener's Delight, which is a German variety. I believe I planted this around January time, maybe early February, so looks nice and strong. Moskvich, which is a Russian variety of tomato, and Sun Gold, which, if I remember correctly, do your own research on this, but I think that's a Japanese variety. So the Sun Gold and the Moskvich were planted on the 25th of February. All of these were germinated inside on a south-facing windowsill and then brought out here later on, so they didn't get too leggy. I didn't leave them on the windowsill too long, because if you do that, tomato plants and indeed many other seedlings will get leggy. So I want to get them out as soon as possible, but you've got to protect them. So some of you may be aware of how I did this by using polystyrene containers. If you want to know about that, check out some of my earlier videos this year and you will see them. So I've tied them up, or going to tie them up, by using this string here. I've got a little knot round them like that, not too tight. I'm pinching out the side shoots here, watering them about twice a week, a nice deep watering, so expecting these tomatoes to do well and hopefully some flowers soon and then some fruit. This one here is the Gardener's Delight. Here we have the Sun Gold, and this one here is the Moskvich. Now, Sun Gold is said to be an early ripening variety, and I love Gardener's Delight because they're a nice sort of sweet, tangy tomato. The majority of gardeners out there who are into tomato growing will know about Gardener's Delight. Now, Moskvich I'm very interested in. One reason I grew this is because it's said to be relatively cold hardy as far as tomatoes go. So, you know, one cannot always be sure of what springs are going to be like. That's one reason why I grew it. So apparently they're also very vigorous, so it could be quite a big plant. So it'd be quite exciting to see how the tomatoes work out. Now down here, I'll just lift it up here. This is a determinate tomato, so a bush variety, otherwise known as Later. That's the name of it, Later, which I planted on the 25th of February, planted out the same date, 8th of May, as the others. So it'd be quite interesting to see how this variety does as well. I had a comment from a viewer the other day regarding watermelons. They were saying that their watermelon plants weren't growing, and this is probably because it's still been relatively cold for plants like watermelons, which like a temperature of about 20 to 30 degrees C, which is about 68 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Hopefully improving now it's warmed up a bit, particularly if one is growing them in a microclimate such as a polytunnel. I've got some more watermelon plants here. These are variety Crimson Sweet, which I planted on the 18th of April. They germinated out here in the polytunnel, so you can see they're looking quite healthy there. But if one is going to re-sow watermelons, a variety such as Blacktail Mountain could be a good one, which is a variety which was bred for areas with short growing seasons. I grew them last year. They're a US variety and I did well with them. They're not a big watermelon, but they cropped well here. So Blacktail Mountain, sow them now, and I would still say that you could still get a crop here in the UK with those. The nectarines are looking good. This is variety Lord Napier. Now these are carrots. These are variety James Scarlet Intermediate, which I planted on the 15th of February. So I straight sowed them into compost in these containers here, and I germinated them in the polytunnel. I left them in there for a month or so, maybe a bit longer, then I moved them outside. So you can see they're looking very healthy there. You can also eat carrot tops, so hopefully I will be getting a nice early crop of carrots here. Same with these. This is Paris Market 5, which I once again planted on the 15th of February, the same as the James Scarlet Intermediate. Well, there we go, people. I hope you enjoyed that video. Once again, I could go on for a long time because, as you could see, there really is a lot that I could show you. But if you would like to subscribe to my channel, please feel free to do so. That way you'll get notified of any videos I put up. And of course you can like my videos if you wish, and if you think anyone else will find them useful, you can share them as well. I'd appreciate that very much. So comments, questions, whatevers, please feel free to post those below. Anything you want to see, whatever, you know, let me know. And oh yes, I'll just show you this one whilst we are down here. So this here is an early sowing I made of crimson sweet watermelon, which I think I planted in February. So you can see that's starting to grow now. Now it didn't do that much out here when the temperatures were cooler, but it's really come on in the last few days. So if you haven't got your watermelons moving too quick yet, don't worry too much. Hopefully there's still time with the warmer weather that appears to now be here.